All right, so we began. So this Photoshop, uh, 2023, Photoshop 2023. If you have, if you don't have Photoshop and you want to download Photoshop, please make sure you get 2021 and above. All right. If you are one of my students, you've paid and registered already. Um, I will give you access to the one I have here. I'm going to send it to you, and I will guide you on how to access it on a free mode. All right. So, because if you install Photoshop without all those moves, after 7, 14 days, Photoshop will tell you to do monthly subscription, and I believe a larger percentage of us will not be able to afford that. Okay, we get bigger by God's grace, but for now, make use of the free version. So, I already have the resources I'll be using. I'll be working with this background. You can see this background that look like fire. It look like people are putting hands together and form fire. So that's what you see the way we are going to twist it, manipulate it, and turn it to something that you can use. And also, this is the picture of the burger I'll be using. All right. So, my poster is 5 by 5 inches, or you can use 1500 by 1500 pixel. That's 1500 pixel. Okay, so I'll be dragging this to my work area just like that. All right, I will expand it. Okay, let me name it first and call this background, and I will convert to smart objects before expanding to maintain the quality. All right. And then I will okay. So the reason why I'm using this background is actually because I want to I want to create something that will look like my product is coming right from the center of this flyer. Okay, it will look like it's coming out from the center of this background. All right, it's an unveiling. We want to unveil a product. We want to tell people that this thing is now available. Okay, so it will look like it's coming out. That's what I actually want to create. That's what I want to do. Then I will proceed by bringing in my burger also. So the burger will be coming right from the center of this design. That's what you are trying to do. Okay, just like that. All right. So these are the basic resources I needed. After this, I will hit enter, and then I can name this burger and convert it to smart objects. All right. So now, as you can see, this background look kind of very coarse. It's not something I can just put content on and use just like that. Okay. So I'm going to work on it like I'm treating something. I'm going to treat it and make it in such a way that it should be something usable, something I can use for design. So you can always perform this move in your designs also to achieve better results. So I'm going to come to blur and go to radiant blur. All right. The thing is, okay. Let me share the whole of my screen so that you can see those moves. I'm coming. All right. So I will come to filter. I will come to uh, uh blur, and then I will come to radiant blur. All right. So the effect I want to apply on this is blur effect. So I'll pick zoom, switch to best, and increase this. Okay, I can go to 30, I can go to 35, depending on how much I want the vert to look like. So this radial blur, the way it works is that it will blur all my background, and it will zoom everything to be in the center. It will be like my background is zooming out right from the center to the edges. Okay, so you are going to see what I'm talking about now. Applying this on my design, you will see the way it should come out. And the thing is, I will hit okay. Okay, so for a while, and we're going to have okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is okay, the attention will be on the border. Kindly let us note that. So this is already dark, right? So I'm going to make it darker and make the center of the design brighter so that this burger will really come out very well. Okay, so I'm going to achieve that. I'm going to apply curve, uh, and I will bring down right at Good. Hello, guys. Hello, can we hear me now? Hey, my PC was, I don't know, I was muted. Can we hear me now? You
Yes,
should
sir.
have
Can hear
called
you
my
now. We
attention
can
to
hear you
that.
now.
We can hear you now.
Okay, good. You should have called my attention to that since. So let me repeat some things that I did now. I'm going to repeat this and make it really fast. So I said I actually want to work on this by putting my focus, the vocal, at the center of the design where the burger will be. Like I said, what I want to create is that I want to make it look like my burger is coming right from the center of my background. Okay, it's an unveiling. It's like a particular hand is pushing it out, or a particular force is pushing it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure all these edges here is kind of darker, more darker than this, and apply more light at the center of the design. And I'll achieve that by applying curves. Okay, by applying curves. All right. So I'm going to come here and drag this down. All right. Now, one thing you need to take note of is clipping in design. The only reason why I will not clip this is because I don't have um any layer that this particular effect, this particular adjustment we affect. Okay, assuming there are other object or any subject beneath, I'm going to clip. So I'm going to leave it like this, and then I will press Ctrl I to invert the move, and I'm then going to apply it uh, where necessary, which are the darker part of this design. Okay, like I said, my flow is at 14. If you check the flow here at the top here, you will see under the menu here, you will see opacity 100. Flow is also meant to be 100. Here it's meant to be 100, but I leave it at 14 because I'm not working with uh, graphics tablet. Okay, if you are working with graphics tablet, you can leave it at 100. You just make sure you set your pen pressure, and then you can control the pressure on your design. Okay, so just like this, I'm going to apply the effects here also. And if you check my picture before and after, you notice it's darker now. Okay, the edges are a bit darker. I can make it more darker, especially the down part here, because I'll be putting some content here also. All right, I'll be putting some content here. um okay, so I'll drop my brush after. The next thing is I'm going to create more light to the center. We just did the shadow, right? So come back to the adjustment and drag this up. Okay, I'm going to drag this up, and then I'll hit Control I again, and then my brush. Once this is black, in any time you are working with adjustment layer, once this is black, this have to be white. Okay, if you are adding, if you are subtracting, but if you are adding, it can be in the same color. Okay, so your layer mask can be in white, can be in black. Just know the principle behind it. So after this, I'm going to erase by applying the light right at the center of my design. So like this, the light at the center will become brighter. Okay, I believe we are getting this. Don't worry, by the time you watch the tutorial again, we're going to understand. I'm trying rushing so that we can meet up with time. Okay, so the next thing, can you see the before and after I on and off the visibility? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'll create a new layer, or and name it yellow light. Okay, if we check the design, we will see that the grade of the light is moving from white to yellow, and then to orange, and then getting darker. So what I'm going to do is I want to make this look more real. I want it to become more lively. All right. So if you check now, this is our burger, right? So we want to create more drama around our burger. So as you can see, the reason why I'm not going to give it white light is because the white part of the design is being covered by the burger already. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to apply yellow light here. I will come to my foreground color, double click the foreground color, double click, and pick a shade of yellow that is kind of close to white. Okay, just like this. And I will apply it on my design. I'm going to apply it like twice. Okay, and then I will turn my brush on, move this flow back to 100. Okay, I'm going to adjust this flow back to 100, and then I will come here and apply my brush, just a click. Then I will press Ctrl T and adjust the size of my brush right at the center. Okay, so after doing this, okay, so after this is too bright, so I will reduce it a little, just a little, with the opacity adjustment slide, and then I'll create a new layer, call that one yellow light too. Okay, that's another yellow light. You see this? Okay, just let us move forward, and then I will come to my foreground color and give it a brighter color that is close to white. Okay, another value of yellow. I will click OK, and then I will come to the center and apply this. Just a click, drop my 2. This where we drop our 2. Okay, I'll drop my 2 by pressing V. V is the shortcut for that. Can you see that? So as a designer, you must learn to work smarter because you don't have all time on earth to execute your project. And then I'll press Ctrl T and then make this also big. Okay, not as big as the former one. I'll press OK, and then you see the before and after. Good. So the next thing I'm going to hone the feasibility of my burger. All right, we can make this a bit bigger, and I think there's probability we'll be adding another light. Okay, now one thing about design is none of your move is permanent, guys. Take note of that. If you make a move and as you continue your design, you notice that thing is not working, you can come back and make further adjustments. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now, my burger, I want to add a bit of white to it. Okay, I'll create a new layer again and call this white light. And come here, it won't be really white, but it will be close to white. That another tone of yellow. Okay, I will hit OK and click. Let me turn this. Okay, I want us to see the effect and how it will go. Okay, so let me put it at the top of the burger and apply a click, and then I'm going to drag it beneath the burger. So you switch layer in design. I'll press Ctrl T and make it big. Okay, and we see the effect of that and the contribution to our design. So it might look minimal, but it's affecting our design. Let's make it bigger. Okay, and now can you see that just a little light? If I don't know if you can see that as I'm turning on now off the visibility. So that's the white light. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my burger. I'll press Ctrl T and rotate it. Okay, I'll just tint it to the left just like this. Okay, so our burger is zooming out, coming out from here. All right, like I said, there are a lot of reasons why I'm doing all of this, but because of time, all right, for my premium students, they will enjoy all of this access. The reason for every move, there is always a reason for every move you make in design. You can't just make move for the fun of it. All right, there are principles that guides what you do. So the next thing I'm going to do is let me adjust my burger to come down a little. Okay. All right. I'm trying to create space for my text at the top. So I will apply curve here, and I'm going to clip it so that it will not affect the rest of the design, like I mentioned earlier. Okay. So if you don't clip, your adjustment layer will affect the rest of the design. So I actually just want to make this burger pop. Okay, so I'm going to come here, click and drag down. Okay, can you see it's the color is coming out better now? All right, and then go up like this. So if you see our burger before and after, you notice uh the color getting brighter just with the use of the adjustment layer. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is, if you check this design, from the concept of this design, the concept of your design will determine how you apply your light and shadow. Okay, so from here you can testify with me that light is coming from behind the object. Okay, it's like zooming out, coming from a different portal. All right, this like portal effect for those of us that watch anime and all these movie that has to do with going from one universe to another or from one portal to another. All right, so if light is coming from the back, the light is meant to reflect on the side of our object. Okay, this is object. Okay, so the light will affect our subject like this, and uh there are some parts that we have shadow. So one of it will be the front part here, because light is not reaching that particular part. So I'm going to create curve again, and I will clip it. Okay, and then I will bring this slider down just like this. All right, then I will press Ctrl I to invert, Ctrl I to invert, and then I will apply it right on the burger. I'm using my brush again. Okay, I'm going to use my brush, set my flow to 14. Don't worry, this will be available. The record of this will be available. And then I'm going to apply shadow. Okay, just my brush will not be that big. Just on some side, especially the front part here. Okay, and the head here, just the top. Okay, once I'm done, you can see, if you check the adjustment layer, you can see the painting around it. Okay, so I can do more. It will show you where, oh, you've not applied here, you've not applied here. Okay, so if you check now, before now, it looks so minimal, but it's there. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply light also with the same curve. All right, guys. So I'm going to apply light also with the same curve. So I'm going to pop this. All right, and as you can see, you already see where light is reflecting on our subject. So I press Ctrl I, and I will be applying light right at the top of my subject, which is my burger, and the side way. Okay, all this lettuce leaf, I'm going to apply my light here so I can zoom in to see well. I'm increasing and reducing the size of my brush with the use of the square bracket. The left square bracket is for reducing and the right is for increasing. Okay, so I'm going to just paint like this, apply my light just at the top, just like that. Okay, you will see it will be brightening up. Okay, after all of this, we are now going to apply our white light normally. All right, so don't panic, just follow the process. We are like architects. Okay, we are going to do the structure. We do the structuring. If you remember during the 3 days marathon class, for those that are not available, you can enter my DM to ask for the record. Okay, if you're on this call and you are not in the 3 days marathon class, the record is available. Kindly enter my DM. You will notice we are doing the sketch. I will show you, okay, this is the layout of my design. This is the reason why we want to structure it like this. This is where we position our content. But that class is really a long hour class. We don't have the luxury right now. Okay, so I already have the sketch in my head as the master builder. All right, so all I have to do is to bring it to life. Just follow through. All right. So you check this now, you will see the light effect around. Can you see that? That's it before and this is after. It's getting brighter. So the next thing I'm going to do is to apply my white light on my subject right now. Okay. So I'll create a new layer and name it white light. I'm going to clip it, right click, and then create clipping marks. And then I will apply my brush. If you want to enjoy how I'm doing all of this, especially if you're a beginner here, you have no knowledge of Photoshop, please subscribe for the premium class. All right. The private section of this with one of my students presently, the person is still under tutelage, is 50,000 naira. But I'm already making it open for just 10,000 naira. And the offer of 10,000 naira will be ending this night. Okay. So from tonight, after 12 a.m., it will go for 15,000 naira. And the first quote, I'm looking for a specific number and I'm about to hit that target. Okay, for those that book reservation here, please make sure you pay, all right, before your reservation got snatched by another person. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put my white light now just at the top of my set. And if, as you can see, this white light is not coming out because okay, as you can see, this white light is not coming because I've already clipped this picture. Okay, I've clipped this layer. If I don't clip it, it will be coming out of this burger. Okay, it will be coming out of this burger. For the person asking a question, please hold on till we are done with the class. Kindly hold on till we are done. So I'll be making this brush smaller and I will be applying this white light on the lettuce leaf also. The thing is, in design, we create reality. What I'm doing is called photo manipulation. As simple as it looks, this photo manipulation, all right? But your own manipulation is not this manipulation of photographer that they will show somebody holding their head in their hand and everything. All those things are achieved with Photoshop also. But no client will approach you and tell you to create something like that for them. Okay, but if you want to do something like that for fun, the same move that you are applying here is the same move you use to achieve that. Okay, so but you putting your hand, your head, and everything, those are not reality. Those are not something that I do, except you're an alien. So this is photo manipulation, knowing when to apply shadow, knowing when to apply light. These are just white lights. Okay, so like I said, light is going to reflect. If you know about it, you should get this easier. All right, it took me years to understand all of this. All right, so you have to understand nature and how it works. If I hop this now, you will see this is it before and this is it after. You see the way it's looking. It's kind of brighter and more yummy. Okay, all right. If you're already hungry for burger, please you can approach the nearby shop after you view this video. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to group all of this together. All my layer here, from the burger to the fet I created, will be in a group. Okay, I will click on the first layer and go to the last layer and just press Ctrl G. Okay, I highlighted it by pressing Shift. All right, so I'm going to name this burger, and then I'll click OK. All right, let me see. Let me bring this down a little bit more. Okay, just like that, because I'm going to put text at the top here. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add. All right, before I do that, okay, yeah, let's do that. This down part here, I'm going to put content here. Okay, I'm going to put content here. So if you check, there's still light here, so it might not pop. So I'm going to make all these parts darker. So I'm going to create a new layer and name this brush. All right, so I will come to my foreground. This is my foreground. Okay, this is where we have the foreground, this is where we have the background. So I'm going to double click to sample a color with the eyedropper tool, and I will pick the darker shade of this background and hit OK. All right, so once I do that, I'm going to select my brush with letter B. That's the shortcut for you to select your brush, and I'm going to paint like this because we want to put content here. All right, so we want to make sure our content is visible. We want to ensure our content is visible, so that's why we are painting, in case you don't understand that. Okay, so once we apply that, we are going to drop our tool. Okay, let me make it more darker. To achieve that, we are going to drop our tool, and as you can see, this is it before and this is it after. You can see a reflection of it on the down part of our burger. So I'm going to use my arrow key to push it down a bit so that it won't be reflecting too much. Yeah, so that it will not be reflecting too much. And now the next thing I'm going to do is, when during celebration, if you see all this celebration design, all this birthday design, you will see like all this gold ribbon. We call it coveting, okay? So, but I can't put something like this here because this flyer is actually talking about unveiling. So it's more or less like a bit of celebration also. That's why we are using something colorful, not just a white design and then you put your object and you say now available or selling for this particular price. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bit of light, and I'm going to pick the color of my light right using my burger. I will pick the colors that are on this burger to create my light. Okay, so I have green here, I have red here, and then we have the yellow. Okay, so those are the color I'm going to use to create the light. So you are going to see the way I'm going to do that. I'll create a new layer and call it colored light. Click enter, select my brush. Don't worry, this is recorded. You are going to access it for free on my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel handle is Oasis Demis. Okay, you can check Oasis Demis on YouTube and subscribe. You will see some other videos there. Be a subscriber and enjoy free content. Okay, so I'm going to push the flow to 100 here. I will come to my brush settings here. If you don't have this activated in your Photoshop, you can come to Windows. Okay, if you come to Window, you are going to see brush. Can you see brush? So once you click brush settings, you will have this panel activated. Okay, so this Sultran brush, the brush I've been using since. You will notice it has a bit of feather at the edges. Okay, So we have the subtrend brush, we have the adjunct brush, and we have other brushes in Photoshop that are default. But Photoshop in such a way that you can put in other elements in there, like plugin. So there are websites you can get other brush, but most of the time we work for basic design, we work with subtrend brush and we work with adjunct brush. Can you see the adjunct brush? It's like cycle, a thick cycle that you can now stretch in any dimension. So this will be activated. I will uncheck my transfer. Let me show us how the adjunct brush work. If I click now, can you see this? This is solid color. Let me go back to my black and white and then switch this. And if I apply, can you see the brush? It's like cycle. It's like we are applying a brush that is not thick. So that's what we want to use. Let me go back. I actually did this to just illustrate for us how it works. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the dimension, the roundness of this brush. I don't want it to be straight. I want it to look like something like oval, okay, like egg. So I'm going to push this down, and if you see, the roundness is switching here. From 100, it has moved to 17%, okay? And then the effect I want to apply, actually, I want to, once I click, when I click the other time, the brush just apply once, it maintains the same shape, but this time around, I will come to the shape dynamic, okay? And I'm going to, all right, before I do that, let me come to the spacing here and break my brush, okay? I will increase the spacing, okay? Just like that. So there is space in between. You notice it's breaking already. So if I come to the shape dynamic and I push the size jitter, so like this, it will be coming in different shapes and dimensions. It will be coming in different shape and dimension, and then I will adjust the angle jitter also. All right, I can leave the roundness, and then I can come to this spacing. I think it's too much, and adjust it. Okay, no, let me adjust this. Yeah, adjust the roundness. Like I said, none of your move in design is permanent. Okay, let's see the count here. Conjure the numbers. All right, stay with me, guys. Okay, so now if I click, you working, all right, unlike before that it was just one direction. Okay, it's coming in different direction and different sizes. That's what I actually want to achieve. So I will be using the color here. So let me work with green. Double click, select green, select red. I will work with red, I will work with green, and will work with yellow also. So I can come here to a light shade of my red, click OK, and I will just paint through like this. All right. See the size. You can also adjust the size with the brackets and the right square bracket, both the left and right square brackets that I mentioned. So then I can move from red and apply a bit of green, just like that. Just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit, and then we apply yellow also. Now the beauty of this is we can always adjust it, okay? Now come here, sample yellow, okay? I will just sample yellow. I can adjust it here and apply my yellow light also. All right, I don't want it to be too much. I'm going to take out from some of it. All right, just like that. As you can see, this is not the result yet. Okay, so what I can actually do next is All right, let me apply the effect, then I will know whether to remove some and to leave some. So I will come to filter, come to blur, and apply my radiant blur again. Okay, and zoom, and then I can leave it like 14 and click OK. So it's going to blur out and it will zoom out. Okay, but this is not what I want. So I'm going to undo. All right, let me just convert to smart objects to make it easier so that I can make further adjustments easier. Okay, I will come to filter, blur again, and then radiant blur. And from here, I can go to, yeah, let's see 26, and let's see it can be more. Okay, I believe you're in this. This might not look like we want yet. Just follow through and you are going to see the beauty we are going to create. Let's make this more. Okay, I need this to blur out more and zoom out more. Okay, all right. Okay, well, this is quite too much. So I'm going to reduce it again. All right. Let's go to like 35 or 36 or 37. Yeah, and then okay. Okay. So like I said, don't be scared to make errors. We are playing with a software. All right. Once you notice a particular move is not how you wanted it, make adjustment and everything. So the next thing is I'm going to create a layer mask. This is getting too much for me. So I'm going to take out some parts of this this old color sub. I'm going to come back to my hard round. I'm going to use the hard round brush and I'm just going to remove the parts that are not needed. Okay, so this white, so this has to be black, and just brush through like that, just like that. No time. Okay, come here, erase this. Most of the things that are down here, I don't really need them. Okay, erase this. All right, let me erase this also, and just like that, let me erase this. So we only need few, not too much. Okay, I think I'm going to leave this other one. Yeah, just like that. Let me erase this. All right, okay. Now look at it. This creating more color to our design. This creating more color to our design. So the next thing I'm going to do is I will apply noise to this. I'm going to press. Now, this is how you create noise. Now, the essence of noise is you use noise to make the texture and the surface of your design look a bit coarse. And there's a way it brings reality to your design. So I'm going to press Alt and click on the layer creation button here and name this noise. All right, name this noise, come to the mode and apply soft light, fill, and then OK. Okay, so I will come to filter, noise, and then add noise. All right, so you will see the way our design will look after adding noise, and then I will click OK. All right, so next I'm going to do next is my text, putting my text. Okay, so there is a rule to typography and how to use it. If you check this particular object, which is the debugger, you will notice it's thick and it's kind of oval. There's roundness in it. Okay, so if you are part of my students in the premium section, we'll be doing the design training. I'm going to show us when to use a particular font, when not to use a particular font, when to use a serif font, when to use a sans serif font, when to use a cursive font. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to tell us the font we are going to use and the reason, which is what I'm doing right now. So the font I'm going to use will be Cooper Black. Okay, so it's a font that is thick and it's round. So that's what I will use to write my content, which is King Burger. I want to put King Burger here. Okay, so I will type that King. All right, I'm going to switch the color of my text and make it white. You see, this particular design, if I'm to break it down for you, it's not a 1 hour design. All right, as you can see me doing it and everything, you'll have discovered it's something I've done before. Okay, so if I'm to create it from scratch and explain to you, it's something that will be spending 2 hours or so on. All right, so I'm going to come here and change my font, Copper Black, Copper Black. And now I just want to show us, I've done this before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it and just place it here because of time. All right. We've used almost an hour already, and I don't want this to be too long. Just stay with me. So this is the font here. So I'm using the black. Okay. So this is what I will use to type my font. All right. So I'll just type it King Burger. All right. So King, and then I will type Burger also. All right. So you see, I'm going to show you the main catchy thing about this design is actually the way you play with the font. All right. All right. You see, another person, for another designer, this is okay. But for me, as a professional designer, this is not okay. We call it creative design. All right. If you check online now, you are looking for a role, they will tell you the position of a creative designer. So if you are a designer and you are not creative, then you are not yet fit for the role. Okay. So for another person, although which is not bad, which is not bad, okay, I can just do this, put my content and everything and just put it here just like that. King Burger now in Ibadan or something, just position it and then I move on. But I will not do this. I'm going to create drama to my design. Pardon me, please. All right, please let's continue. My PC was lagging a bit, so I'm sorry for that. Okay, so another person can leave this like this and just move on. But in one word, this is the font to be using. So I'm going to bring in what I've done that is similar, like I said. All right, so I'm just going to position it there for us. to use. Okay, so we are going to see how our results will look like finally. Okay, so we can also see this looking really beautiful if you want to uh agree with me. All right, so I'm going to bring this to my design. Okay, there is a way I did this. Sorry, pardon me. There is a way I achieved this. There is a way I achieved this result. Please, there is a way I achieved this result. So if you want to learn how to reconstruct your text to look something like this, I'm going to show you during the training, during the private class. It's not something so hard. It's something you can learn and achieve yourself. All right, can you see? I turned this same text, this same Burger King, all right? I turned it colorful, all right? So if you check, it look like, oh, how did this guy do this? Is it a particular font that I used, or I downloaded a particular template? No, I created it myself. I created it myself with my students. And like I mentioned, if you are willing and you want to be a private student, you want to be having one-on-one section with me, the slot is available for just 50,000 naira. Okay, but if you are not, kindly jump on the offer uh, of the training that is coming up by the month of July. So I'm going to drag this and drop it behind the burger. Okay, can you see that? So right now it's behind the burger. And what I did is I actually tint this. I rotated it in such a way that it will follow the direction of the burger also. Okay, so can you see this? So this is how I achieved this. All right. So after that, the next thing I'm going to put is my next text, which is now available. I will type now available in Ogbomoso, now available in Ibadan, now available in Lagos. We can just use now available in Lagos. Okay. So I'm going to type my text here, now available. What's wrong? This activated. Excuse me, please. All right, so I'm going to type my text and I'll be using a cursive text actually. So the reason why I'm using this, now, one of the principles of design is make sure you don't use more than 2 or 3 fonts in your design. All right, no matter how complex your design is, make sure you don't exceed that. It helps you with uniformity in design. Okay, so it helps you with uniformity in design. So I'm going to scale this and make it big. Okay, so there is one more move I'm going to do. I'm just going to drag in our text. I already showed us how to create this, which is the major part. Okay, now available. And you can see the contribution of all those white, all those yellow and green light and everything. It's creating more beauty to our design, guys. It's creating more beauty to our design. All right. So Uh, because of time, just to make this quicker. All right, so I'll bring in this. Now, one thing about design is no matter the number, one of the things that show mastery is your ability to reproduce your results. Okay, no matter the number of time you do it, that's when you know this thing is not luck. All right, this particular design, when I was working on it with my students, there's no plan for it. We are just discussing. I was just trying to show some moves. I mean, my private students. Okay, I was just trying to show some moves for her to understand, and then we arrive at that point, and I was just like, you know what, let's jump on this, let's create this together, and we have our okay. So now available in Lagos. I'm very sure there should be King Burger in Lagos already. So this is promotional for them for King Burger. All right, now available in Lagos. One thing I can do is I can come to View and check my guide. Check my guide. Okay, the essence of guide is it will help you with the layout of your design, with the way you arrange your content. Okay, I think okay, this margin is 100 by 100, it has 100 by 100 points each, so I'm going to hit okay. So I think I'm cool with that. So with this, I can adjust the position of my text. So I'll make sure it's right on the line for alignment. And then let's talk about the price. Let's talk about the price. I think I have the price typed out already. All right. The reason why I did the price like this is I put it right beside the burger so that when people are seeing the burger, the next thing they are seeing is actually the price. Okay. I will just press Ctrl C to copy, and I will drop it here. All right. In design, you can open in Photoshop, you can open as many documents as possible. All right, you can open as many documents as possible. So I'm going to bring this down, change the layer position, and put it right behind my burger. Okay, so like this, can you see this now? And another thing is I can switch the color. Okay, let's see and switch the color. The color of the cycle. If you want to switch the color, just double click on this box here. You see this small box here. Once you double click, you have this. I'm doing this for the sake of those that are new to design. I believe a larger percentage of people here might be new to design. I can't be so sure. I think I'll just leave it as black like that. I'm only trying to show us we can switch color. Okay, this particular black is actually very cool and very lovely. All right, and then I'm going to let's put this out a little bit, go up right there. Yeah, so the next thing I'm going to do is let's put the Burger King logo. All right, the brand logo, we're adding the brand logo. That's the meaning of what I'm saying, so that I know they have an identity, right, guys? They have an identity. I believe you guys are still with me right there. So after this, we're going to perform one more move. Okay. So let's position the logo, make sure it's aligned with the one beneath here. All right. And before we go, let's bring both the price, the text, and the burger. Let's just push it down a little bit. Okay, it seems to be way up. All right, good. I think I love it better. I will have the feasibility of this. And now, what I'm going to do next is my noise will be at the top. Okay, let's put our noise at the top. I want it to be reflecting on everything. Now we're going to create a stamp visible. Now, stamp visible is like you taking a screenshot. I want to apply some effect now, and I want to ensure the effect is actually reflecting on all the parts. You know, when we are adding the adjustment layer and everything the other time, it's only affecting some a layer per time. But this time around, I want to make all my layers one. If you check, we already created many layers. Okay, this is more than 10 layers. So I'm going to create stamp visible by pressing Ctrl Shift Alt E. Make sure you put your cursor at the very top of your layer panel, and you can see this like you taking a screenshot of your phone or of your laptop. So the next thing I'm going to do is come to filter and come to sharpen, then on sharpen marks. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make my picture sharper. All right, I want to make it more. So after this, I'm going to press Ctrl Alt E again, creates another stamp visible, convert to smart object and take it to camera raw. All right. Please, there are different principles and there are different reasons for. You see, there is a setting for my on sharpen marks and everything. Okay. If you want me to really break down this for you, if you are not yet registered, a lot of people have registered already. I can see some of my students on this call already. A larger percentage of this or those on this call already registered students. Please make sure you register so that you can enjoy the premium version of this. All right. So under the camera raw, I'm going to boost the color, make it pop more. And you are going to see, once you are back from the camera raw, you will see the results we are going to have. All right. Like I said, this is recorded, so you can always go back and watch. Go back, watch. If you have any question, my DM is available. Slide into my DM. Let us interact, let us chat, and get to know each other better. Okay? As creatives. All right. Please, guys, one of my counsel and advice for you is that make sure you are creating every day as a designer. All right. Make sure you are creating every day so that it become an habit, it will become a routine. Okay. You have to be disciplined. So I'm going to boost the contrast. After that, yeah, and then we have exposure to it to make it pop. I can leave it at 15. Okay. And then the black. So to create more shadow to it, all right. Can you see that? And then and include and then I will add fair brands to everything on there, right? So adding fibers will make the color pop more. All right. So after that, I will come to my detail, increase the sharpness, and also the noise reduction will be increased here. Sorry, noise reduction. Okay. So this way, I won't have so many noise. The noise are all this dot 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 dot. Okay. And then I can come to my face and add the variant to it. Okay, so that focus of the camera will be right at the center of the design. It's okay. So camera raw filter, and we have this. Can you see that? Can you see with that single move? These are designed before, and this is after. Okay, after this, I'm going to come to filter and just adjust the lens correction. All right, I will adjust the lens correction so that the design will pop more. All right, you are going to see that. So it will look more like a poster. Okay, so set this to 60, minus 60. Set the first one to minus 60. And then under the fixed blue and yellow here, I will set this to 60. And then I will hit OK. So voila, we have our result. Okay. All right, I'm going to show us now and let us drop our review on this. What do you think of this result? You can drop your review in the comment section, and then I will start the recording of this. Okay, so look at this, guys. Uh, look at this, guys. This is our poster. This is what we created. Okay, so I think the noise is too much, and then you can actually always reduce this and just like that. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording now for the sake of those that will be viewing this on YouTube. Okay, so let me stop the recording. Can you see that we spent over